Porygon Community Day Classic is on Saturday, January 20th from 2 to 5 p.m. And if you evolve Porygon 2 to Porygon Z during the event, you will get the legacy move Tri Attack, which you will want if you ever plan to use Porygon Z, but we'll talk about its meta-relevancy after the event details. Chapters in the description below for each section of the video if you want to skip to the tips. All right, let's look at the bonuses quickly. We will get 3 times XP for catching Pokemon, lure modules, and incense, excluding daily adventure incense, activated during the event, will last for 3 hours, and we get those 5 snapshot encounters as well. Now, this is a Community Day Classic, so there will be no 4-star raids to extend the Community Day. However, we will get some research, including a free timed research, which is going to reward 3 upgrades and 3 Sinnoh Stones, and that will be available between 2 p.m. and 7 p.m. local time. There will also be the standard event field research, so you will have to catch Porygon to earn rewards such as additional encounters with Porygon, Stardust, Great Balls, and more. Now, those additional encounters through the field research are a great way to hunt Hundos and Shundos because they have a higher IV floor from those research encounters. Now, there'll also be the standard $1 USD special research available. The rewards aren't announced yet, but usually these are things like more encounters with the featured Pokemon, as well as some premium items like incense, lure modules, lucky eggs, and star pieces. Aside from the special research, there will also be a $10 USD web store bundle that I do not think is particularly worth it, as you have to use real money to buy it, and it will get you 120 Ultra Balls, 15 Silver Pineapples, 6 basic incubators, and 1 incense. However, there will also be in-game shop bundles that you can use Pokecoins for and are better in my opinion. They include one for 1,350 Pokecoins, which will get you 50 Ultra Balls, 5 Super Incubators, 1 Elite Charge TM, and 5 Lucky Eggs, and another bundle for 480 Pokecoins, which will get you 30 Ultra Balls, 1 Incense, 3 Super Incubators, and 1 Lure Module. All right, that's it for the event details. Let's talk about the Porygon family's meta-relevancy. Now, Porygon Z does have a pretty decent attack stat of 264, a meager defense of 150, a respectable stamina of 198, and a max CP of 3,693. However, the issue here is partly that the entire Porygon line is just normal typing, which means it gets no super effective stab damage, which if you aren't aware is a bonus to attack damage for using a move type that is the same type as your Pokemon. Stab means same type attack bonus. And that is because normal type doesn't hit any other type for super effective damage, but in return, it doesn't have many weaknesses, just fighting. And it also only has 1 resistance, and that is Ghost. So as a raid attacker, there is pretty much always going to be something better that does effective or super effective damage. That being said, the legacy move Tri Attack is something you will likely want for PvP should you decide to run Porygon Z or Porygon 2. And that is because Porygon 2 ranks higher in Great and Ultra League on PvPo because it has more bulk as Porygon 2, given that its stamina stays the same as Porygon Z, but its attack is 66 points lower. Now in PvP, Tri Attack has a 50% chance to debuff your opponent's attack and defense by 20%, which is a pretty nice chance at some good debuffs. It also has access to every hidden power type move, as well as the charge moves Zap Cannon, Solar Beam, and Blizzard, which give it some coverage. But its playstyle is largely bait and nuke, and if it's going up against anything with 2 shields, it's likely going to get roasted. I will say in Ultra League, it can be a great way to nuke the ubiquitous Giratina because it has access to Blizzard and it can get to Tri Attack pretty quickly. So you can bait and potentially debuff with Tri Attack and then nuke Giratina with an unsuspected Blizzard. The element of surprise with the Porygon family is its saving grace in PvP. Now personally, I am a hoarder of Pokemon, so if I get any Pokemon that have good PvP IVs, I generally tend to keep them. For those of you who like to play the top meta, this one might not be for you, but for those of you who are like me and like to run some fun spicy stuff, you might want to get yourself a few good Porygon to run in the GBL. All right, that's it for meta-relevancy. Now let's take a look at the CPs you want to watch out for when hunting those 100% IV Porygon. Now in the wild, we can only be certain it has 100% IVs if it's at the max level that a Pokemon can spawn at in the wild. Now normally that is level 30, but if it's being boosted by the weather, then it is level 35. But there are lots of other possible CPs for Hundo Pokemon out in the wild, so you do need to catch them and check them all if you want to get the best chance at getting a Hundo. However, when you're hunting Pokemon in the wild, do keep an eye out for 1474 in non-boosted weather and 1597 in boosted weather, which is partly cloudy. And then of course we have Porygon from the research as well, and those will be 737 CP if they have 100% IVs. Okay, now let's talk about the best Mega, and because Porygon is a normal type, you're going to want to use a normal type Mega, which includes Mega Pidgeot, Mega Kangaskhan, or Mega Lopunny. Just remember to use whichever Mega you have at the highest Mega level, as that gets you the most amount amount of candies and the best chance at getting Candy XL. Next up, let's look at some candy tips. You can of course use Pineapps for 2 times candy or your Silver Pineapps for 2.33 times the candy. Keep in mind that it takes 25 candies to evolve Porygon to Porygon 2 and another 100 candies and a Sinnoh Stone to evolve Porygon 2 to Porygon Z. Now, if you have a friend playing this community day far away from you, you could each save some Porygons to trade, and trading distance Pokemon will get you more candies, and if they're over 100 kilometers away, then you'll also get a guaranteed Candy XL. I've got a couple showcase tips for you here as well. Some people like to do the sniping method where you put in 3 low-ranking Pokemon into different showcases. 3 is the maximum number you can be in. And then later, right before the showcases end, you go in and you swap them out for higher ranking Pokemon. However, I find that this runs the risk of you forgetting to do that, and then you just get bad rewards. What I like to do instead is find less competitive showcases. So these are ones that aren't very close to other Pokestops, gyms, major attractions, or transit hubs. Then I just put in my top ranking Pokemon, and generally I can do pretty well because not as many trainers enter into these showcases. Now, the more extreme version of this is traveling out to remote or rural areas and entering those showcases there, as there are definitely a lot less competition than pretty much any showcase you're going to find in a big city. However, not everybody can or wants to travel that far to enter into showcases for Pokemon Go. Now, in terms of which medals you can work on during this Community Day Classic, of course, your normal type medal will see a big boost. And if you're trading those distance Pokemon, you can also work on that pilot medal, which requires 10 million kilometers of distance to reach platinum level. All right, everybody, consider hitting the like button if you found this video useful and subscribing for more Pokemon Go news, tips, and live streams. If you want more Pokemon Go content right now, check out one of the videos on screen. Happy hunting. I hope you get the Shundo Porygon, and we'll see you in the next one, friends.
I've got something incredibly funky.